Hi everyone, welcome to A Cup of Tea. Thank you for joining me again today on another Monday. I woke up today with a different attitude, with a different mood, a different feel. It's this whole shifting that has been taking place in me to move me to the next level of where I am headed. I told you before, don't feel good, but I need to put some pep in my step, okay? So today I want to talk to you about pep. So I try to create what I call acrostics, which are poems that use the letter of each of the first words of something to just create something that I could remember it by. So it's called PEP, P-E-P. And the P is for perseverance, the E is for endurance, and the P is for pressing. Pep. So that's what I mean when I'm saying I'm putting a pep in my step. Not that I'm moving any faster, but I'm just understanding what the process is. Perseverance, endurance, and pressing. So as I'm thinking about this process, and every single thing that I'm going through keeps leading me back to this thing: perseverance, endurance, pressing. And so I thought about that whole concept, and I remember that I heard something about the olive and how the olive oil is actually made. And if you've never bought olive oil is not cheap. But I understand why, because of the process that it takes to make olive oil. So first, the olive oil has to it has to go, first you got to pick it. That's number one. So first you got to pick it, so it shakes the tree or whatever, and then you can just pick the things off of the tree, pick the olives off of the tree. But then after they're picked, they go through this beating process where they're like just mushed down and just turned into kind of like almost like a little bit of a mushy consistency. And then after it goes through that consistency, they take it out of the barrel thing, and then it has to go through the pressing. And once it goes through the pressing, that's when the oil is extracted from it. So first it's picked, then it's beaten, and then it's pressed. But that oil that comes out of it, it's like, wow, like you can get that out of that. Yeah. You would be amazed that when you go through certain things in life, what will come out of you. Because see, we don't want to go through that process. We don't want to go through the shaking. We don't want to go through the beating. And we definitely don't want to go through the pressing, because it does not feel good. But what if I told you that on the other side of all of that was all the oil that runs from you? The oil, that's all the good stuff. That's your greatness. That's where the phenom in you that makes you phenomenal. That's where all of that lives. But you can't get to any of that if you don't go through the other stuff. So how do we get to even go through that process? Putting a pep in our step. Remember, we got to persevere. We got to endure. And we got to press on. And I find myself, y'all know I'm always telling y'all my business. I hope we friends, because I'm stay telling my business, okay? But I get all the lessons first. So before I can even teach anything, before I can even talk to anybody about anything, I have to know exactly what it is that I'm talking about. So for whatever reason, I get the lessons first. And so I understand about this perseverance, this endurance, and this pressing, because anytime you set out to do anything different with your life that goes against what you have already known or what's been already embedded in you from either from childhood, things that you've picked up, learned behavior, any of those things, it's going to require a reshaping, a rethinking, a shifting in your mental attitude, and it's going to have to, your mental capacity is going to have to increase in order for you to really get to the places that you need to get to. So I find myself complaining a lot about stuff that I have to do. My to-do list has a to-do list, and then those to-do lists had kids and they little to-do list. So I found myself spending a lot of time complaining about a lot of the stuff that I have to do, when I can use that same energy to do the things that need to be done, one step at a time. And I think sometimes I be looking for things to be a little bit easier because I feel like, God, I've been through so much already. Like, can I just get a break? But I realize that this is all part of the process. So I have to keep telling myself that this is part of the process. This is part of the process. This is part of the process. It's that persevering, that enduring, and that pressing, because on the other side of that, that's where the victory lives. Because see, everybody don't get there. Everybody doesn't get to release the phenom in their phenomenal. They don't get to release that because they don't want to go through the process. But the process is so necessary for this journey that you're on. The journey to greatness, the journey to that pressing to release the oil that is in you. If your oil is not coming out, it's because you're not pressing. You haven't been going through the shaking, the beating, and the pressing. You have to press in order to get it, because on the other side of that, that's where your greatness lives. I don't know about you, and I'm not going to go kicking and screaming. I'm going to be a willing participant in my life, and whatever it takes, whatever it takes for me to get there, to get that phenom in my phenomenal, I'm doing it. I am doing it. And I'm not going to complain about it. I'm not going to try to wish it away. I'm not going to cry. In case y'all don't know, I'm a big waterhead. Don't tell nobody my business, okay? But I'm not going to cry about the process. I'm going to just do what I have to do. And so hopefully you'll do what you have to do, because the world is waiting for you. There's some good oil in you that we need to use to light up this world. I wish you peace and blessings, and I thank you for having a cup of tea with me.